Okay. I call to order the July 28th, 2021 meeting of the Springfield Board of License Commissioners at 5:30 p.m. on Zoom. All commissioners are present, so we have a quorum and we can continue. First order of business is approval of the minutes of the hearing of July 14th, 2021. Have we had an opportunity to review those minutes?
Yes.
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 The only correction I see is that it says that Commissioner Siciliano was present and you were at, is he gone? Oh, Michael, you weren't there, right?
I was not there.
All right, so I would make that correction to remove, note that Commissioner Siciliano was absent. Does anybody have any other changes?
No.
No.
Okay, make a motion then to accept the minutes with that one change for Commissioner Siciliano. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Got a call roll. Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Signatory, yes. Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is a continued petition for a beer and wine annual package store license for Springfield Wine Exchange located at 1500 Main Street, Suite 170, Bonavita, manager of record. Is with us. And Marco, do you know if we have had any input on this license since the previous?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
I'm talking to our attorney, Marco.
Sorry.
Now, do we have any public input since the previous meeting?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Bonavita, is there anything else you want to tell us?
Not really. I think I kind of explained it towards the end of last meeting, and I talked to the Abcc last week or two ago, and to do shipping is okay if it's a third party, and I know it needs to be. They need to be 20. There's a sticker that has to go on the box if you do ship through FedEx or one of those companies, and they're all approved. And I don't expect to have any other licensing myself besides what we have already. So,
Okay.
what we would have.
Great. Commissioners, any questions?
No.
No. All right. I would make a motion then. We go into discussion and vote. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez. You're on mute, John. You're on mute, John. There you go.
Sorry about that. Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Signatory, yes. Okay. So we have a new beer and wine package store license proposed for the Springfield Wine Exchange at 1500 Main Street, which is in Tower Square by Hot Table. And we have reviewed that at the previous meeting. We have no public input, and I don't see any reason why we would not approve this license. Does anybody else have any input?
No.
No. Okay. I will make a motion then that we approve petition for a new beer and wine package store license for the Springfield Wine Exchange, 1500 Main Street, Suite 170. Carlo P. Bonavita, manager of record. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Signatory, yes. Thank you. You're all set, Mr. Bonavita, and this is going to be going off to the ABCC, and they will be contacting you probably to come and inspect your premises.
Yes.
So make sure you're available for that. You don't want to miss that.
I will be. Thank you.
Good luck.
Appreciate
luck.
it. Thank you. I hope to see all the grand opening.
Yeah,
I'm not sure when, but as soon as I can. All right.
All right, let us know. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is another continued petition for St. Anthony's. Is there somebody present from St. Anthony's?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I don't think anybody from St. Anthony's actually came today. And this is because this was a late renewal, which was treated as a new application. However, the records show that previously late renewals only appeared once.
Okay,
Yeah, so, and that's one reason. The second reason was that the mayor wanted this to be approved. So the licensing authority sent the approval form to the ABCC. So we haven't heard anything from them yet, but this would be just a mere formality if you were to go forward with the approval. Otherwise, the previous vote that continuing this matter will serve as an approval. But I would suggest you just, vote upon it as a formality.
vote to approve it as a formality.
Yes, because the approval form had already been sent to the ABCC.
Well, but this board voted to continue it to this meeting.
That's true. I agree. And like I said, previously, for late renewals, they have only appeared once. I checked the records and I was
That's so. All right.
and then the
Yeah.
second part was that the mayor wanted this to go forward.
Well, yeah, but the mayor's not the approving authority for a liquor license. So
I agree.
that's a bad precedent.
I agree.
Has the license been approved by the ABCC?
As of, not to my knowledge, because nothing has been said to me so far, but
So we haven't received the approval back.
we haven't received it yet.
Oh, all right.
I don't know. I don't know if Anna had received it, but she hasn't told me anything yet.
All right. So we voted to continue this meeting. Has there been any public input on this license?
No, Mr. Chairman, not
No.
to my knowledge.
All right. So whether they're here or not, there has been no public input. So following our normal procedure for a bifurcated hearing, which this was supposed to be, I would make a motion to go into discussion and vote. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. So the license isn't present, but we have had no public input on the license. This is a late renewal for St. Anthony's. So I would make a motion, unless somebody has anything, any thoughts on this, I would make a motion to approve this late renewal. Do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Mr. Signature, yes. Okay. The late renewal is approved. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a petition for a change of manager for Irving, AMG Retail, DBA Irving Gas Station at 11 Tapley Street. Is Ms. Rodriguez, are you representing the Irving?
Myself and the manager, Joe, are both on tonight.
Okay.
Yes, hello, that's me.
Mr. Latif is present as well. Okay, so we're changing the manager for this package store. If you're not familiar with it, commissioners, it's a convenience store associated with the gas station on the corner of Tapley and St. James.
Yep.
And we're changing the manager of record to Joseph Latif. And Mr. Latif, can you tell us about your experience in this area, selling alcohol?
I have been working with this company for about 2 years now, selling tobacco. I recently took over as manager at this location about a month and a half ago. I had previously worked here as just a salesperson a little bit prior to that.
Do you have
We
any-
do sell beer and wine.
Do you have, so you have been here at this location for 2 years?
I was at another location, but I did work here every now and then.
Did that other location have alcohol?
They did not.
You did not. Okay. So do you have any experience selling alcohol?
Other than what I've gained from working at this store, I do not.
Okay. Ms. Rodriguez, is there a corporate tips training program or how is that handled?
We do have a training program that we can send Joseph to. I will touch base with my training department in the morning. If I can give you any, recognition on Joe, he is a great manager. He has been one of my top managers in this company chain-wide the last couple of months. He is the newer manager to this site. I have every inclination in my body that he will perform the way he needs to as far as the sale of alcohol for the store.
So is there a corporate tips training program, or do they send them to the tips training that the alcohol distributors use?
I believe the distributors, the one that the distributors use.
Okay, so that can be taken online.
Yep.
Okay.
We can have Joe take that immediately.
All right, so we want all employees working in the store who are selling alcohol to be tips trained.
Okay.
And to keep the manager of record, Mr. Latif, should have certificates for all of the tips trained employees, current certificates, because they expire. So they have to renew. And all of those should be on in a file. And if there is a violation, typically in a package store, it would be a selling to minors, although we have never had one at this location. We would ask for a copy of the current certificate for that employee.
Okay.
Mr. Latif, is this your full-time job?
Yes, it is.
How many hours a week do you work there?
55.
And how many employees at this location sell alcohol?
8, not including myself.
Okay, so you heard me say you're going to have everybody tip certified. Make sure that they are immediately if they're not, and keep those certificates on file, okay?
Well,
Yes, sir.
absolutely.
And you live where, sir?
I'm sorry, what?
Where do you live?
I live actually right down the street from here on Merida Street.
Springfield. Okay, good. This is a huge increase in your level of responsibility. As a manager of record, you're answerable to this commission for everything that happens there, whether you are on duty or not. So if there is a serving to minors or perhaps a disturbance, you are going to be in front of this commission explaining what happened. Do you understand that responsibility?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Commissioners, does anybody have any questions?
Nope, no.
No. Okay. This is where, so we're still on bifurcated hearings. So this is where we stop. And normally we would vote and this would be the end of it. But because we are still on bifurcated hearings, not open to the public, I will continue the hearing at this point and we will see you. The next hearing is August 11th. Do you have any questions?
No.
No. All right, I'm going to make a motion to continue this hearing till August 11th. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Thank you, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Next is a informational hearing for the Jazz and Roots Festival at Stern Square. And I see a big white lion at the bottom of my screen.
Good day,
And
folks. I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Commissioner.
go ahead. I'm looking for my map.
I apologize.
Does everybody
So
get their
for-
map?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
For the record, Raymond Berry, resident, city of Springfield, had an opportunity to share with you the map of this year's 2021 Jazz and Roots Festival. Accompanying me on the call are the two principal coordinators, Christian Neville and Kyle Homestead. So I will speak to the licensing request aspect, and then if you have any questions relative to the layout of this year's festival and the control environment that I won't speak to, they are present to do so. So this year we are very happy to be back after a 1-year hiatus. This will be our 5th year in partnership with the Jazz and Roots Festival. This year we'll be set up in front of the former Skyplex in Stern Square with a mobile beer trailer We will be operating that, obviously contingent on weather, but if it's good weather, we'll have a rotation of 6 tip certified pourers. And then we will also have a couple folks floating around, keeping an eye on the various areas that folks would be congregating, drinking beer. So we're pretty excited to bring it back. We're pretty excited to be part of the landscape post, or even though we're in COVID, but on the fringes of hopefully exiting the pandemic. So this year's footprint is a little different than what we've had presented in the past to the commission. Maybe Kyle or Christian can just speak to that and some of the reasons behind the change. I think it's a positive step relative to mobility and involving other small businesses in the downtown business improvement district. So I think it's a win-win, not only for the city of Springfield, but for downtown businesses as well.
Is this the first year we've had it over here on Stern Square?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. I'm looking at the map and I'm like, well, that's City Hall. And where's
Right,
the
no.
church? And I'm like, what the hell? And then I see Stern Square. I'm like, oh, we're in a whole different neighborhood now. All right, okay. So we have 2 guests you are running so Ray is just the liquor licensing.
Correct. Yes.
Correct. So Ray is in a black white lion square there in front of by Stern Square, and you're going to tell us about the rest of this.
Correct.
Yeah. So
Okay.
my name's Kyle. I'm with the Jazz Fest. Did you? It sounds like Ray forwarded you all that map, maybe that you hopefully have
Yes.
a copy of. Great. So we're shutting down Worthington and Bridge streets, and the festival will sort of encompass that sort of two block radius, including what is now known as Tower Square Park. Our main stage is going to be over there in the Pro Park parking lot on Worthington. So the stage is not actually in Stern Square, but the audience will be in the streets and in the square and on Verrier Way.
Yeah.
And you can see there where we will be having perimeters to enclose that space so that anybody who enters the festival, we're actually requiring registration this year because of COVID. It's historically been a free festival and is this year as well, but people do have to register. But you can see where the stars are there are our admission points, and the red dotted lines are where we have barriers, much like we did in Court Square, where we enclose an area where people could walk around with food and alcohol and so on.
Okay. And the food will be in these little red squares where it says vendor?
Some of the food is there. We're also, a big impetus for moving over here was really to give festival goers a more kind of downtown experience where they would interact with establishments. So, for example, Theodore's will be serving food and Granny's Baking Table and so on. So all the restaurants that are in the area will also be engaged. We will have food vendors there in the streets, maybe some in the park as well. We're still getting a tally for food vendors.
Okay. And this is Saturday, August 14th from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
That's correct.
Correct? Okay.
Actually,
And
1 p.m. 1 p.m. to 10 p.m.
1 p.m. to 10 p.m. All right. 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. All right. And this is open to people of all ages. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So so the only alcohol will be served at Ray's White Lion. Is it a tent or a trailer or?
This year it's going to be a mobile beer trailer. We'll be serving with approval beer and wine. Everyone will have to identify themselves with an ID, and they will all get a wristband, color-coded wristband, and our cups that we pour in will be different than any other cup that someone may be walking around with. We'll go with a color-coded palette or a color-coded cup. to differentiate our product from other products on the ground.
You can tell Commissioner Barry's been down this route before.
And we,
So
and we have,
where's the IDs checked? On the way in, the
The
registration?
IDs, I'll defer to Kyle on that question, but I know from a pouring perspective, even if Kyle were checking IDs coming into the perimeter, we're
Yeah.
going to check again prior to service.
Okay,
yeah, historically, we've decided that's the most effective
So we
workflow.
cannot
is to have rate check.
actually deliver the cup of wine checking the ID.
so you're gonna check their ID before you pour them a beer or a wine?
That's our protocol, Mr.
Okay.
Commissioner.
And Kyle, what were you saying, his work?
I was saying the same thing. I was saying that historically, we've found that that's the best workflow is that Ray's tip certified people are checking the IDs right there at the pouring location. And then in addition, we have people monitoring all of our perimeters, entry and exit points. And as per previous years, we don't allow anybody, of course, to exit the perimeter of the festival with an alcoholic drink that we can recognize because Ray has specific cups.
Okay, all right. And so there's no checking IDs at these registration points, is that right?
That's correct. No,
Okay.
just at
Just
Ray's
at the
pouring.
beer tent. All right. So there's no wristbands involved.
Ray will do wristbands at the
Wristbands.
pouring location.
All right, okay, so Ray, you're not gonna check an ID every time, right? So you're gonna check the ID and then give them a wristband? Is that how it's gonna work?
Correct. ID check, wristband. If there is a suspicion of transfer of wristband, we will recheck an ID.
Okay, all right. There'll be non-alcoholic beverages available somewhere?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And security, do we have police officers?
We do have some police detail, and we also have a third-party security firm, and then a whole host of other staff that'll be also working these checkpoints as well.
So this is gonna be for 9 hours. How many police officers are you hiring?
Do you know the counters, Kristen?
That hasn't been determined yet. That's still being decided.
Okay. Ray, do you know anything about that or no?
I do not know
No?
about
Okay.
the number of police officers, sorry.
Right, okay.
We usually go for whatever the police chief recommends to us based on the site assessment. So it's in discussion.
4. Oh, I'm getting a 4 off the screen here. So they'll normally say it's a supervisor and three officers is normally what they'll recommend.
Great.
And do they work the whole 9 hours or do they swap off? Yeah, so they'll probably split it and 4 more officers will come in at some point. All right, sounds good. Any questions, commissioners?
No.
No. Okay. Commissioner Barry is the applicant who answers all my questions before I can ask them. All right, so that sounds good to me. I would make a motion, we go into discussion and vote. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano.
Yes.
Yes, Commissioner Signature, yes. Okay, sounds great. Good presentation, new location. Getting some businesses downtown on Worthington Street involved, which is great. I see nothing wrong. I want to fully support this festival. Everybody else in agreement?
Yes.
All right. Hearing that, then I will make a motion to approve a 1-day beer and wine license for the Jazz Roots Festival located at Stern Square with Raymond Berry, the event organizer, from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday, August 14th, 2021. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinoza,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Thank you for your presentation and good luck. And I
Thank you very
hope
much.
you have sunny weather.
Thank
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, good night.
Enjoy. Take care.
All right. Moving on. No. No, Namako, you provided, I don't see it on the agenda though. You provided the guidelines for the BYOB regulations. And the questions that I'm getting are that, first of all, do we have a list of who has a BYOB and what their hours are?
There are 2 of them.
We have 2 in the city?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and do we know where they are?
Oh, yeah, the list was actually provided with the packet, the agenda packet.
The list is in the package?
Yeah.
Last
That would be
page.
the last page.
Oh, wait. Report.
There are 2 actually on the list. At least the ones that we know, or the ones that have gone through the office to get the permit.
Oh, hey, Gary. Oh, all right, okay. Montezuma's on Belmont Ave and Saboris Mexican. We don't have a BYOB at Saray Turkish on Allen Street?
Not to our records, and I don't know.
Okay, well.
But according to the License Commission's record, there are only, well, it used to be 3, but the 3rd one, our office wrote a cease and desist letter stopping them from continuing the practice. So that's why they are not on this particular list. And that would be Hookah.
Hookah Haze.
Yes. So
Okay.
according to our records, there are only 2 at the moment.
Okay. Do you want to check, Saray? Well, I don't think you were with us, Namako, when we had our historic licensee begging us to take their license away meeting with Saray Turkish, who had a liquor license, but who couldn't obtain Turkish wine for their patrons. And they begged us to take the license away so their patrons could bring in this elusive Turkish wine that they can find somewhere, but the licensee can't. So I would be very surprised if Saray Turkish does not have a BYOB license right now. So you said we had 3, the 3rd being Hookah Haze, and what happened to that license?
Oh, so they were involved with several violations, of which Officer Berry actually wrote a report on that. And
Okay.
following the report, a cease and desist letter was sent to them, which was served by Officer Berry.
Oh, they never had one. They never actually had a BYOB permit. They had a common vic. So what was cease and desist? The common vic license?
The BYOB.
Okay. All right.
So
So they still have a common vic license to
they
serve
still have a common vic, yeah.
food. All right. So what I'm hearing from some of the licensees is that the licensees are using the BYOB license as a runaround, getting an annual license. So they're looking at it like, why would I buy an annual license and pay for the annual license when I can just get a BYOB and charge the customers a cover charge and the corking fee and make my money that way. And that is not the intention of this BYOB license. This BYOB license, the first paragraph says that is compliant with MGL Chapter 138, which is common vic license. This was written and approved by this commission to help out small restaurants like Saray Turkish and the 2 Mexican restaurants that are licensed here, not for people to avoid getting a annual all alcohol license and staying open until 2 in the morning like a regular bar. So I don't see any hours restrictions in this license. So I think that's something we may have overlooked, is placing a restriction of the hours that this BYOB regulation can be in place. It should be, most restaurants do not open until 2 in the morning. You know, if you're a real restaurant, you're closing at 11 o'clock, midnight at the latest, not staying open till 2. So that is one thing I think we should might want to consider, is putting an hours restriction, maybe to go along with the common vic, or just saying no, there will be no BYOB after midnight or something like that. And then there is an annual fee of $25. I don't know, you know, this is designed to help a small restaurant not to become a bar. So I don't know if we want to consider that. And I don't see any restriction on charging a cover charge. And a cover charge, restaurants don't charge cover charges. You don't charge a cover charge to go into Applebee's. So we might want to place a restriction on allowing a cover charge at the door. And there are rules and regulations around cover charges. If the restaurant, the establishment wants to charge a cover charge, they have to give a receipt, a numbered receipt, which is auditable by the Abcc and the DOR. And if they're not doing that, they're just doing it just to make extra money at the door. And that's not the intention of this license. So,
Mr. Chairman, is there also a limited amount that they could put on the corking charges? The corking charge?
well, yes, the corking charge is $25. And some of these licensees with this BYOB are charging by the bottle, not by a cork. And you know, vodka doesn't have to be uncorked unless it's some kind of vodka I don't know about. And beer does not have to be uncorked. It's just wine that has to be uncorked. So if you walk in with a 6-pack of Truly, you should not be charging 6 $25 charges. It's no charge because Truly doesn't have to be uncorked. So they're not really following the letter of what this says. It's a corkage fee. Corks require corkscrews. And the reason for this corkage fee is that the restaurant may provide a corkscrew and a wine glass to the patron to uncork the wine so they don't have to bring their own corkscrew. And that's the reason for the corking fee. Not, you know, the restaurant doesn't have to help you pop the top on your Truly can. So that is pretty clear to me, but it should be enforceable by our SPD if they're charging inappropriate fees for corking, but we don't have anything that mentions a cover charge. So they're charging cover charges and corking fees. And that, I mean, basically getting around having to apply for a annual license, which goes through all the scrutiny of the planning board, the license commission, the ABCC. They have to fill out Corey applications, and they can avoid all that. And their insurance, their liquor liability insurance, they can avoid all that by just getting a BYOB, and then it's the wild frontier. So I think we might want to, do we want to review these and discuss it at the next hearing? And so if we have any ideas, we do have a violation tonight for someone who is in the business of doing this, Hookah Haze. So if you want to review that violation first, and then we can revisit this.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Let's go on to the violation report. So before I forget, the next hearing is August 11th. I am at UMass that week for school, collector treasurer school. I actually teach a course on that Wednesday, and I don't get out until 4:45 on that Wednesday. So it's going to be a very quick trip back to Springfield to be here for 5:30. Does anybody have a problem with moving the meeting to 6 p.m.? Give me a chance to get back here. No? All right, so
I don't have a problem.
6 p.m. on the August 11th, please.
Sure.
Thank you. All right, so we have a substantial report here for Hookah Haze. So let's sit right back and enjoy the story. On April 25th, 2021 at 12:13 a.m., officers were dispatched to 296 Cooley Street, Hookah Haze, for an accident with injuries turning into a disturbance. Upon arriving on scene, officers spoke to all parties involved, including a female being detained by security. This female told officers she arrived at Hookah Haze and observed a female known to her standing outside the establishment and admitted she had no prior issues with her. Her passenger exited the vehicle to inquire about entry and was attacked by the known female and her friends. The passenger was able to get back into her car and she attempted to drive away. In doing so, she hit two vehicles and then was detained by security. She refused medical attention. Officers then spoke to the other female involved who had a different account. She stated that the driver and the passenger got out of the vehicle and assaulted her, and the female ran her foot over as she left. Officers spoke to Youssef Manzour, a security guard at Hookah Haze. He stated he did not witness how the altercation started and that he came outside. As he came outside, he saw one female trying to leave her inner vehicle. He added that she collided with the two other vehicles and also contacted his leg, at which time he detained her. Mr. Manzour was checked out by AMR ambulance personnel and cleared. He added he did not wish to come forward with charges against the female. On May 17th, 2021, a female came to the complaint desk at police headquarters and filed a report regarding another disturbance that occurred at Hookah Haze. The female stated that on April 24th, 2021, she and her friends had rented a table at Hookah Haze for the night, and that around 12:30 a.m., a female known to her over an ongoing social media feud walked in and eventually threw a glass bottle at her that hit her in the head. Female provided the suspect's name and indicated that this female is the mother to her ex-boyfriend's child. The victim added that when she was struck in the head, she began to bleed and she was then pushed out of the establishment and banned from returning. She added that no one called for an ambulance or offered her medical care. She stated that the nightclub, quote unquote, was packed that evening. She estimated that there were about 100 people in there at the time she was hit in the head with the bottle. She added that after being hit in the head, she fell to the ground and tore her ACL. She indicated that she was escorted out by the bouncers who did not offer her any medical care. I asked her how many times she has been to Hookah Haze, and she stated just on the evening of this incident and once before. She added that she cannot go back as they banned her. She informed that on both occasions, she charged a $20 cover charge at the door, as were her friends. She added they were also charged an additional $20 each if they brought in weed or a bottle. I asked her what she meant, and she stated you can bring your own weed or bottle of booze inside as long as you pay the additional $20 for each. She advised me that people smoke weed in there. I then asked her if once inside, patrons are required to purchase food. She stated that they did have chicken wings, but you aren't required to purchase any if you don't want to. She did not recall speaking to an officer on the night this happened. On May 21st, 2021 at 1:15 a.m., a team of narcotics and uniformed officers, including myself, under the direction of Lieutenant Beliveau and Sergeant Haze, entered Hookah Haze. Upon approaching the main door to Hookah Haze, I could clearly detect a very strong odor of burned marijuana. And the doors were locked and we had to wait to be let in by the staff. Once the door opened, the odor of burnt marijuana was even stronger. I observed a large crowd inside and I asked security to get the manager. Several people then approached and advised me they were the manager. Several people approached and advised me they were the manager. Several people were the manager, all these people?
According to them, yes.
Okay, oh, great. None of these people were Hasnain Elias, the manager listed on the Common Vic restaurant license for Hookah Haze. I advised a female who stated she was a manager that the entertainment needed to cease as they do not have a late night entertainment permit. She told the DJ to shut the music off and patrons slowly began to exit. Detective Mancinoni and Sergeant Heides conducted a head count of patrons as they exited. Sergeant Heides advised me that between 110 and 120 people exited through the main door. Do they have an occupancy permit?
Because it's a common vic, it's not listed on there, and if it's not listed, it's under 49 according to the building department.
Oh, so it should be under 49.
Correct.
Okay, and there were 120 people present. Officers positioned on the exterior of the building also observed patrons exiting a rear side entrance. As the patrons exited, Officer Delamarta walked around the interior of the premises and observed alcohol bottles and hookahs on the tables. Officer Delamarta did not observe any food or evidence of that food had been served. Officer Delamarta also noted that many of the alcohol bottles exceeded the 375 milliliter container permit in the BYOB guidelines. Photos of the tables were taken and are attached to this report review. These reports have been numbered 19 to 31. Some of these photos document bottles of alcohol larger than permitted under BYOB guidelines, and other photos reveal evidence of marijuana use, wrapping papers, unburnt portion of marijuana cigarettes, discarded tobacco. There also does not appear to be any food items on these tables. Officer Delamarta did observe numerous licenses and permits posted by the cash register by the main door. These include a 2021 restaurant license, a 2021 entertainment license, Monday through Saturday and Sunday, no late night entertainment permit, and a smoking bar permit. Officer Delamarta also noted that there were no signs posted with the cover charge. There were also no signs posted at the entrances warning persons entering the establishment that smoking may be present on the premises and of the health risks associated from secondhand smoke, and that persons under the age of 18 of age may not enter the premises. The SPD has requested Hookah Haze LLC, DBA Hookah Haze Cigar Lounge, located at 296 Cooley Street, Hasnain Elias, manager, be charged with the following violations: violation of MGL Chapter 94G, Section 13, restrictions on public consumption of marijuana. No person shall consume marijuana in a public place or smoke marijuana where smoking is prohibited. This includes smoking bars as they are public spaces. Violation of City of Springfield entertainment license regulations, failure to clearly and conspicuously post admission fee and provide written receipt upon payment of admission, offering admission fee based on sex of patron, ladies $10 before 11 p.m. Well, failure to, wow, haven't seen that one in a while. Failure to actively monitor licensed premise for drug use, marijuana smoking, and report suspicious activity to police. And 4, offering entertainment, television, DJ music after 1 a.m. without a late night entertainment permit. Violation of MGL's Chapter 270, Section 22, smoking in public places. Failure to post in a clear and conspicuous manner signs at all entrances which warn patrons entering the establishment that smoking may be present on the premises. and of the health risks associated from secondhand smoke, and that persons under the age of 18 years of age may not enter the premises, and 2, allowing beverages not sold directly by the licensee to be consumed on the premises, which is not allowed under a smoking bar license. Is that right? Okay. Violation, there's more. Keep going. Violation of the City of Springfield License Commission rules and regulations pertaining to BYOB Section 5. 1, charging patrons to consume alcohol on premises. 2, charging patrons consuming alcohol while not seated at a table. 3, allowing patrons to bring liquor cordials in containers larger than 375 milliliters. 4, failure to make patrons bringing in alcohol beverages order food. 5, allowing patrons to bring in opened bottles of alcohol. Allowing patrons to exit the premises with an open container of alcohol. Failure to complete an online insurance industry approved safe service of alcohol training program for licensee, manager, and all employees. 8, exceeding capacity over 50 patrons, and 9, doors locked while the establishment is open to the public with patrons inside. SPD is also requesting that this report be forwarded to the Office of the Mayor for entertainment permit violation hearing and to the Springfield Health Department for violations of the smoking bar permit. In addition, a copy will be forwarded to the Department of Revenue for their review and any action they deem appropriate. Well, I don't know how many boxes we can check on this one, but it definitely does, to me, sound like we need to have a conversation with them regarding these violations. So I would make a motion that we have sign them up for a violation hearing. There, everybody agree?
Yes.
Yep, okay. So I make a motion for a violation hearing for Hookah Haze. List here. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinoza,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes, thank you. Next violation is, we told you, John, we'd see this guy on every report. Frank's Package Store. It wouldn't be a meeting without Frank's Package Store guy on here. On June 25th, 2021 at 10:57 p.m., officers arrested a known male to all of us at 11 Dickinson Street, Frank's Package Store, for trespassing and a default warrant. Officers were dispatched to this location about 10:22 p.m. for a trespass complaint called in by the staff of the package store. The officers performed a record check of the person named in the call and discovered that the male had outstanding default warrant for his arrest for the same offense, trespassing. Officers arrived on scene and observed the known male loitering in the parking lot. He was placed under arrest without incident. This same male has been arrested numerous times at this location for trespassing. There's an active trespass order prohibiting this male from entering on the property, and Frank's Package Store has numerous no trespassing and no loitering signs affixed to its building. SPD requests this report be submitted to the License Commission. Licensee is doing as they should, so I would recommend we take no action. Does anybody differ with that?
No.
No, I make a motion to take no action on this violation. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano,
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes, thank you. Next is Lorong Nepali Kitchen. Disturbance on July 4th. On July 4th, 2021 at 1:22 a.m., officers responded to a disturbance at 403 Dickinson Street, Lorong Nepali Kitchen. Officers arrived on scene and spoke with the owner, Sukraj Rai, who was also one of the calling parties. Mr. Rai explained to the officers that he had received a call earlier in the evening from a friend's brother who asked him if he could come to the restaurant with a friend to eat and drink their liquor. Both men drink their own liquor, bring their own. Both males, and they don't have a BYOB. No, of course not. Both males later arrived at the restaurant and began drinking in the bar area. There's a bar area?
There is, but it's a restaurant, but there is a bar set up. I think because what it was before they had.
They did.
They did. They
Yes.
don't now.
They don't now. All right, okay. The bar area of the establishment. The owner stated that he got into a heated argument with one of the males on how drunk he was and how it was disrespectful to his parents by being that drunk. The owner admitted he started to record the male and told him he was going to send it to his parents. The male then got up and began to follow the owner. The male then grabbed a chair and threw it at a mirror located behind the register, causing it to break. And the owner then called 911 for assistance. The officers noted that the owner told them that he has applied for a liquor license, but has not been approved yet. The officers noted that they observed a dark colored liquor bottle and several cups filled with alcohol in front of both of the males' seats, and that they have received calls in the past regarding this establishment being open late and serving liquor.
They wrote serving, but he's allowing BYOB.
Allowing BYOB was out. He's not on our list, so no, our list of two. SPD requests that Laroon Nepali Kitchen, DBA Laroon Nepali Kitchen, located at 403 Dickinson Street, Suraj Rai, manager, appear before the Board of License Commissioners for operating this business during hours not listed on the 2021 restaurant license and allowing BYOB without the required permit. He has not applied yet for a liquor license, although I have been in conversation with his attorney who told me that he was going to submit an application for this, but he hasn't done it yet. And it's now on hold because of this incident. I would make a recommendation that we do have him in for violation of his common vic license. Everybody agree?
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion that this, that Sarum Nepali Kitchen be invited in for a violation hearing of his common vic license. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano?
Yes.
Mr. Signature, yes, thank you. And then we have Entertainment District violations for your reading enjoyment, and we have, oh, this is Raymond's one-day license.
Or Stern. I got one. It said
Stern, this one says Stern. All right, so do you want to, what do you want to do with these BYOB regulations? Do you want to review them and maybe discuss them after we hear Hookah Haze and see if we want to apply any modifications to them?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, for a second.
Yes.
So in order to fully discuss whether or not the commission would move forward with reviewing or amending or taking anything or adding anything to the BYOB rules, it would have to be on the agenda so that the public can be made aware of that. And if they want to make an input, they can. So at this point, I would suggest that if we really want to go forward, then we will have to reconvene another time when the matter has been put on the agenda, and then the commission can, adequately discuss it.
Right. Okay. So why don't we table this for now, and we'll hear the Hookah Haze violation, and then we'll put it on an agenda for discussion. Does that sound like the right thing to do?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So
Let me ask a question.
yes,
So
sir.
in that regard, it won't be on the next hearing agenda, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. All set, everybody? Anything else? No. Okay. You have anything, Namako? No.
Mr. Chairman.
No. All right. Okay. So I will make a motion then to adjourn until 6 p.m. on August 11th. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Commissioner Siciliano?
Yes.
Mr. Signature, yes. Thank you, everybody. Good night, and I'll see you on the 11th.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.